Fakhreddin Shehu, hello. For the Rahovec International Poetry Festival, I'm very happy to read a certain number of poetical aphorisms. But before, I have to present myself. I am 75 and I have a PhD in public law and political science, international relations. I was professor at the Faculty of Law of Rabat until 2005. I have published more than 250 books, including Mama in Paris, Eternity Leans Only on the Side of Love, followed by Dogma and Candy, or the impulse of the smile and of a woman to love as one would like to live again after death. Rumi, or a flavor to be saved from knowledge. I am a painter and I am ex-president of the Moroccan Center of Pen International, London, from 2009 to 2013. Now, the title of the poetical aphorisms I'm reading is The Slow Hope of Breath. English translation by Robert Dare, it's an American poet, and reviewed by the author, myself. The moon is delivered this evening to the brook. I know not for what untemperamental immobility. To look at the moon and give her fresh human looking, or rather a warm one. At the foot of the horizon, Eve falls asleep when the torch of the day dies. When girls flock around the river, believe that the weather is not everywhere the same. Wind has many popular forms in her sweep. I care not for the poet that through words as we discuss. The sky came to die between your hands, like the last wave on the beach. Song or music interests me only if I mixed in the shadow all my gestures of reminiscent happiness. I like paintings where beauty is arbitrary. Often I think the coming of the day is also the coming of the sense. That the light of the lamp resists to the storm is of little interest, but rather that it is a heaven to the storm of light. The storm does not find its peace in calm, but in agitations. Poets also hold the magic of the mad verb. The storm that leaves us breathless by its immobility has in the meantime all its time to do the tour of any soul. Silence is the permanent radio of any soul. The curves in stone are only the vague memories of its former dances. I am fascinated by the numbers that come after the comma in its immobility. For all the gold of the world, the stone never would be disturbed by its sense, nevertheless vertiginous, of stone. The rise and fall of breath is the same as the sea's W's. Breathing man flies, if only a little, but who is going to worry themselves over so little? Man watches his life pass by shaking the bells of his beat. Breath is like an accordion that plays music or that one touches. A trip? Just take up the flute. Departure is not necessarily a car attached to the rest of the train. You purge your incapacity to create book by buying many of them. For certain men, many of their errors are seen as success. Be wary of those who fool of themselves, they can absorb fully no other. The superstitions should perhaps burn echoes in the sky. I could say at least that God made joy and pain so that we could love them both. Who is this believer that do not make it with himself affectations of mystery concerning God? If there is no God in this miracle, the earth stands still at full throttle. Finally, we have more than we love with this medium which is heart, with a woman who do not desire a dream which has never functioned, with a woman raised by woman, albeit tenderly or acute. That is so made that with him we sought all future pleasure and at a snap of the finger without a doubt. Sometimes truth devastated the world. When invaded by truth, you will not know it. Truth often do not triumph unless it is not announced. Freedom is exercised only in conjunction of time and not in its structure. The perfect gaze is the view that things have of us. The visible has its mysteries and the invisible its own. Perhaps those of the visible are just more dense. My priority is not what is hidden in the night, but rather what is hidden by the day. Loss of memory forces us to swallow a worry, oh, how many years? In the best of cases, memory will not become a very animated fear of loss. If time never returns on itself, it is only for the childish truth of poetry. The minute is a motto of 16 PSS. Every dying instant transforms to silence. Nothing is lost, nothing created. It is the meteors that are most quickly forgotten. Thank you very much.